First at 4, new video of a man charged in the kidnapping and murder of a Detroit nurse snatched as she left work. Prosecutors talk about why this case hit a nerve for so many people. Also, one down, one to go. We are tracking the progress of a debt ceiling deal with just 4 days before the federal government will have trouble paying its bills. And the calendar only says June 1st, but there are some hot weather concerns going on right now. The Forewarned Weather Team has your forecast. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, prosecutors say a Detroit woman was killed during one of the most dangerous times in a relationship. Today, they announced charges against Jameer Miller, and he appeared in court for his arraignment. Miller faces several counts, including first-degree murder, carjacking, and felony firearms charges. He's accused of kidnapping and killing his ex-girlfriend, Patrice Wilson. A nurse says she left her job at the Detroit Medical Center in Midtown. Her body was found in Novi. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy says all murders are tragic and important, but also understands why this one may have hit a nerve for so many people.
I think this case is very relatable. It was a woman that had a relationship with a man that she was trying to get out of. It was a woman that was hardworking, was simply leaving her job that day to get home to her family. And I think everybody can relate to that. And everybody can hope that nothing like that will happen to them.
Today, the magistrate entered a not guilty plea for Miller and ordered him held without bond, saying he should be considered a danger to the community. We do have some new information about a double shooting in Westland. Police tell us a 36-year-old woman from Dearborn Heights has died from a gunshot wound, while a 32-year-old man from Romulus is in stable condition. Both were shot at the Newburgh Square apartments around 2 in the morning. Right now, we don't have information on a motive or a suspect, but Westland police say it does not appear to be a random incident. Neighbors on Detroit's east side are still breathing a sigh of relief after this plane crash. The FAA and NTSB are in town launching their own investigations. The small plane made a crash landing in the backyard of a home on Dutchess Street near Kelly Road and Meringue Avenue. Now, incredibly, the plane didn't hit any buildings, and the 2 people on board walked away from the crash. The plane was flying from Troy to City Airport, but didn't make it. Right now, it's not clear why it went down. We'll have a live update on the investigation when you join us at 5. June 1st kicks off Pride Month for the LGBTQ+ community around the world and here in Metro Detroit. Today, the City of Detroit and Motor City Pride kicked off the celebration by raising the Pride flag at the Spirit of Detroit. City leaders say it's part of their effort to support an inclusive city for all Pride celebrations. Also kick off this weekend in Ferndale and move to Hart Plaza on June 10th and 11th. Oh, it's another hot day outside. Even though it's only June 1st, you should be thinking about those UV rays and air quality. Ron Hilliard is in right now for Kim Adams. Hi, Ron.
Hello, Karen. You see the temperature right there in the corner. We are in the mid to upper 80s across the region. Looking at the radar right now, we are getting plenty of sunshine. You go over toward Ontario, you start to see a few clouds developing, but a lot of sunshine all across the region. And it is going to stay that way. You got to go over toward the southwest side of the state, over toward Benton Harbor to get some thunderstorm action and some rain showers. Here's a look coming from Canada, from Windsor. We're at 89 in Detroit, 88 in Howell, 89 in Pontiac, and 89 in Adrian. We are certainly flirting with 90 degrees. So this evening, we are see those temperatures tumbling on down to the lower 70s. As we get toward midnight, it is still going to be warm out there. So these are those top stories. The air quality is going to be an issue at least through tomorrow. We have temperatures flirting with 90 right now, and we'll have that for tomorrow. And then we'll talk about the few chances of rain that we have in our forecast with, again, not all of us seeing it. We'll have that coming up. Karen?
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Ron. A bipartisan debt ceiling bill has passed one hurdle, but could face some further drama in the United States Senate. The nation's default deadline now just 4 days away. Kimberly Gill joins us now to talk about where things stand, and really there's not much time left.
There isn't, and good afternoon to you, Karen. It looks as if the Senate could be working into the weekend in order to beat that June 5th deadline. Right now, we're seeing a lot of posturing and complaints about the bill, but a potential disaster is looming if the legislation doesn't make it to President Biden's desk by Monday. In the past 24 hours, the full House passed the bill by a fairly wide margin, with 314 in favor, 117 against. It will raise the debt limit for 2 years, so we don't have to do this again until after the next presidential election. It also places a 1% cap on non-defense spending next year and increases work requirements for some adults on food stamps. The Democratic leadership says the bill must pass quickly, while some Democrats and Republicans are frustrated.
I think we're being jammed by Joe Biden. We're backed up here against the X date, and this could have happened months ago. So I'm not happy with him. I'm not happy with the process.
Any change to this bill that forces us to send it back to the House would be entirely unacceptable. It would almost guarantee default. So again, the Senate will stay in session until we send a bill avoiding default to the President's desk, and we will keep working until the job is done.
So at this point, both parties expect some senators will vote no, like Republican Josh Hawley and Bernie Sanders, who often vote with Democrats. So, Karen, remember, it takes 60 votes to pass, so it's not a simple majority at all.
Not at all.
Yeah. So
well, obviously, there's going to be some roadblocks for them.
Indeed. Senators will be allowed to offer amendments, but none of them can pass, or the bill would have to go back to the House. The whole process could take more time, and time is one thing the senators certainly don't have, so we'll have a lot more when you join us for Local 4 News at 5.
All right, we look forward to it. Thanks, Kim. Well, President Joe Biden had a trip and fall today toward the end of the Air Force Academy graduation. NBC just sent this video from Colorado Springs. After shaking hands with hundreds of cadets, the president took a tumble as he was returning to his seat. Secret Service and an Air Force official helped him up. The president walked back to his seat without assistance and remained for the rest of the ceremony. The White House says he tripped over a sandbag and he is fine. City of Davenport is now trying to move forward carefully and also respectfully after that partial building collapse in Iowa. Now, if there is a piece of good news, it's that the rest of the building is still standing since it is so unstable. Today, officials say 3 people remain unaccounted for. They know the building will have to come down, but they're listening to demands that it be done as carefully as can be.
We are working on a timeline. We are reaching out to experts that have particular expertise in taking it down with a very dignified and respectful way. That is very particular because my guidance and quite frankly, the understanding of all our folks is this needs to be done in a way that it respects that this is a resting place.
We'll let you know when and if any demolition begins there. Talk about having a medical crisis in the right place at the right time. Today, we have the story of a nurse who passed out on the job and her co-worker stepped in to save her life. LaTanya Bennett, already a breast cancer survivor, was covering a friend's shift when something just went wrong. Megan Woods has the story of what Bennett calls a miracle.
This is a nurse's station where they come to get vital information. This is also where LaTanya Bennett passed out.
I just thank God that it happened here.
Nurse Bennett doesn't remember the day, but her husband Tyrone remembers getting the call. Her co-workers told her she was taking care of patients in the back when
they were like, hey, come up front because I'm the one that talk and all this stuff. So they said as I got right up to the nurse's station, I just collapsed.
But that moment also saved her life. They immediately did CPR on her for 48 minutes.
When they got to 30 minutes of CPR, the doctor said, hey, what do you guys think? What do you want to do? Do you want to call it? Everybody was like, no, no, no.
The reason that she was able to survive was that she got immediate care on the floor in the hospital.
Dr. Christopher George was looped in to get her on the ultimate life support.
I was in an operating room doing a heart surgery on a different patient, and I got a call that one of our nurses was in serious trouble.
This is the machine Nurse Bennett says helped save her life. She was on it for 2 days, and not every hospital in the area has one.
ECMO, which is extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, the machine that circulates blood outside the body, providing oxygen and removing carbon dioxide.
After spending 2 weeks in the hospital and half of that time in the ICU, LaTanya Bennett got to go home, something everyone involved doesn't take lightly.
I've been to 3 doctor's appointments. Every time I've been in any one of them, they call me their miracle.
We were at the park yesterday, and I couldn't even, just sitting there, and we were looking at the water. I couldn't imagine God having her here, but I do know that we believe in God. We believe in the doctors that were here.
And now they're hoping her story reminds you to take care of yourself.
Knowing things about your blood pressure, your heart rate, your heart sounds, if they hear murmurs, things like that, getting an EKG. If there are signs of heart trouble, then following up very carefully with a cardiologist.
Every day is precious, you know, so make every day count. You know, the being upset at a family member or, no, life is too short.
In Southfield, Megan Woods, Local 4.